everyone, welcome to Education Exploration Hub. My name is Sophia, and I am very happy to be here with you today.
And I'm Dylan. Hi, everyone.
This podcast is for beginners, so we will speak slowly and use simple English. Today, our topic is self-control.
Self-control means we can manage our actions, feelings, and habits. It's very important in daily life. For example, we use self-control when we study, eat, or manage our time.
That's right, Dylan. I'm excited to talk about this with you. Self-control helps us make good choices and avoid bad habits. Sometimes it is not easy, but we can practice and improve.
Exactly. In this podcast, we will talk about simple examples of self-control. We will use easy words so you can understand well. I hope this conversation helps you learn English and think about your own habits too.
So, Dylan, what do you think about self-control? Is it easy or difficult for you?
That's a good question, Sophia. I agree that self-control is very important, but sometimes it is difficult. I also have moments when I want to relax instead of working, but I try to control myself and finish my tasks first. It makes me feel good after that.
I feel the same. I think self-control helps us reach our goals. If we practice every day, we can get better. Even small actions can make a big difference.
That's true, Sophia. Small actions are very important. We do not need to be perfect. We just need to try a little every day. I think self-control is like a muscle. We can learn it and improve over time.
Yes, a muscle. I like that. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that is okay. We can try again the next day. I also think it is important to be kind to ourselves. If we are too strict, we may feel stressed. So we need balance in our life.
Balance is key. If we have too much control, life can feel hard, but if we have no control, we may have problems. For example, we can work hard, but also take time to rest. We can eat healthy food, but also enjoy some treats.
Yes, self-control is not about saying no to everything. It is about making good decisions most of the time. It's okay to relax sometimes too.
Exactly, Sophia. Now let's talk about some daily examples. For me, one example is waking up early. Sometimes I want to sleep more, but I try to get up on time. It is not easy, especially on cold mornings.
I understand. Another example for me is using my phone. I like to watch videos and check social media, but sometimes I spend too much time. So I try to limit my phone use. For example, I don't use my phone when I work or study. I put it away and focus on my tasks.
That's a great habit, Sophia. Another example is eating. I like sweet food like chocolate and cake. Sometimes I want to eat a lot, but I try to stop myself. I tell myself to eat a small amount. This is not easy, but it's important for my health.
Food is a very common situation. Another example is exercise. After work, I often feel tired and want to rest, but I try to go for a walk or do some exercise. Even a short walk is good for my body and mind.
Yes, self-control helps us choose what is good for us even when we don't feel like doing it. Another situation is time management. Sometimes I want to watch TV or relax, but I have work to do, so I try to finish my tasks first. After that, I can relax without worry.
That makes me feel better too. Another example is saving money. When I go shopping, I sometimes want to buy many things, but I ask myself, do I really need this? This helps me spend less money.
That's a very good point. Self-control also includes emotions. Sometimes I feel angry or upset. In those moments, I try to stay calm and not say bad things. I take a deep breath and think first.
Controlling emotions is very important for our relationships. Another example is listening. Sometimes I want to interrupt others, but I try to listen first. This helps me communicate better.
Let me add one more example. Another situation is studying. Sometimes I feel bored, but I try to finish my homework before playing games. This is self-control too. It helps me learn better and feel proud of myself.
That's a great example, Dylan. So as we can see, self-control appears in many small moments every day. Now let's move to our next section. Now let's talk about something very useful. How can we improve self-control? Let's share some simple tips.
Great idea. My first tip is to start with small goals. I do not try to change everything at once. For example, if I want to study more, I start with just 10 or 15 minutes a day. This feels easy and I can continue.
Yes, small steps lead to big results. Another tip is to remove distractions. For example, when I study or work, I put my phone in another room. This helps me focus better. I also keep my desk clean and quiet.
That's smart. Another way is to make a routine. When I do the same things every day, it becomes a habit. For example, I study at the same time every evening. At first, it was hard, but now it feels normal.
Routines save energy. Another tip is to reward yourself. When I finish my work or reach a small goal, I give myself a reward. It can be simple, like watching a short video or eating a small snack.
Rewards make hard tasks more enjoyable, but we need to keep them small. Another tip is to think about your goal. For example, if I want to be healthy, I remember this when I choose my food. It helps me make better decisions.
Yes, and don't forget to take breaks. If I work for a long time, I feel tired and lose focus. So I work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This helps me stay fresh.
Balance is very important. Another tip is to ask for support. Sometimes I talk to my friends about my goals. They support me and give me advice. This makes me feel stronger.
Support is wonderful. Another tip is to track your progress. For example, I write down what I do every day. When I see my progress, I feel proud. Even small progress is important.
Yes, and finally, be patient. Self-control does not improve in one day. It takes time. Sometimes we feel slow, but that's okay. We should keep trying.
Dylan, can I add one more tip? I think it is also helpful to say no politely. For example, when friends invite me to play games but I have work to do, I say, not now, maybe later. This small word helps me stay focused.
That's a very good tip, Sophia. Saying no in a nice way is a form of self-control. Okay, now let's move to the next part.
Now let's talk about challenges. Even when we try our best, problems come. What are some common challenges, Dylan?
One big challenge for me is feeling lazy. Sometimes I don't want to do anything, even simple tasks. On those days, it is very hard to follow my plan. But I try to start with a very small action, like standing up or opening my book. After I start, it becomes easier.
The hardest part is the beginning. Another challenge is stress. When I feel stressed, I want to avoid my work. I may watch videos or eat snacks instead of working. So I try to manage my stress first. I take deep breaths or go for a short walk.
Understanding our feelings is very important. Another challenge is losing motivation. Sometimes I feel excited at the beginning, but later I lose interest. When this happens, I remind myself why I started. I think about my goals again.
That helps me too. Another challenge is being too strict with myself. Sometimes I want to do everything perfectly. If I make a mistake, I feel bad and lose motivation. So now I try to be more kind to myself. I accept that mistakes are normal.
Being too strict can make things harder. Another challenge is time pressure. When I have many tasks, I feel overwhelmed. In this situation, I try to choose one small task and begin. After I finish one thing, I feel better and continue.
Breaking big tasks into small steps is very helpful. Another challenge is bad habits. For example, eating too much sugar or wasting time. For me, I try to replace a bad habit with a good one. If I want to eat snacks, I try to eat fruit instead.
Replacing habits is a smart way. Another challenge is feeling tired. When I'm very tired, I have less self-control. So I try to take care of my body. I sleep enough and take breaks during the day.
Health is very important for self-control. Finally, another challenge is comparing ourselves to others. Sometimes I see other people doing very well and I feel bad, but now I try to focus on my own progress. Everyone has their own speed.
That's beautiful, Sophia. We all learn and grow at our own pace. Now let me ask you something. What do you do when you really want to give up?
That's a great question, Dylan. When I feel like giving up, I tell myself, just do 5 more minutes. Usually, after 5 minutes, I want to continue. This small trick helps me a lot. Another thing I do is imagine how good I will feel after finishing the task. That picture in my mind pushes me forward.
I like that. Imagining success is powerful. I also use a different method. I ask myself, will this matter tomorrow? If the answer is no, I know I can relax. But if the answer is yes, I try to finish it. This helps me decide what is really important.
That's a very wise way to think. So we see that challenges are normal, but we have many small tools to overcome them. Now, let's do something special. Let's imagine a listener question. This will help you practice English and think about self-control in real life.
I love this idea. Okay, imagine a listener named Maria. She writes, "Hello, Sophia and Dylan. I want to study English every day, but I always stop after 2 days. What can I do?"
Thank you for your question, Maria. First, don't feel bad. Many people have this problem. My advice is to start very small. Do not say, "I will study for 1 hour." Say, "I will study for 5 minutes." After 5 minutes, you can stop, but usually you will want to continue. This is called the 5-minute rule.
That's excellent advice, Sophia. I want to add something. Maria, try to study at the same time every day. For example, right after breakfast or before bed. When it becomes a habit, it feels easier. Also, find a friend to study with. You can call each other or send messages. Support makes a big difference.
Yes, and remember to celebrate small wins. If you study for 5 days in a row, give yourself a small reward. This trains your brain to enjoy studying. Over time, self-control becomes stronger.
Great points. Let's imagine another question. This one is from a listener named Ahmed. He writes, "I want to stop eating too much sugar, but I love chocolate. What should I do?"
Thank you, Ahmed. First, you don't need to stop chocolate completely. That is too hard. Instead, try to eat a little less. For example, if you eat 3 pieces every day, try 2 pieces. Then, after 1 week, try 1 piece. Small changes work better than big changes.
I agree. Another idea is to replace the habit. When you want chocolate, eat a banana or some nuts instead. Your body still gets something sweet or tasty, but healthier. Also, drink a glass of water. Sometimes we think we are hungry, but we are actually thirsty.
That's very true. And don't forget to be patient with yourself. If you eat too much sugar one day, don't give up. Just try again tomorrow. Self-control is a long journey, not a perfect race.
Well said, Sophia. I hope our listeners, Maria and Ahmed, feel encouraged. Now let's move to our final section. Short transition sound, gentle chime.
Let's quickly review what we learned today. First, we learned that self-control means managing our actions, feelings, and habits. It is like a muscle we can train.
Second, we shared daily examples like waking up early, limiting phone use, controlling emotions, and saving money. Self-control is everywhere in small moments.
Third, we gave tips to improve self-control. Start small, remove distractions, make a routine, reward yourself, take breaks, ask for support, track progress, and be patient.
Fourth, we talked about challenges like laziness, stress, losing motivation, being too strict, time pressure, bad habits, tiredness, and comparing ourselves to others. And we shared simple solutions for each.
Finally, we answered 2 listener questions about studying English and eating less sugar. We hope those examples helped you see how to use self-control in real life.
That's a lot of good information, Sophia. But remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Choose one small idea from today and try it for 1 week. That is enough.
Yes, progress is better than perfection. Every small step moves you forward. Outro music starts, soft and warm. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Education Exploration Hub today. We talked about self-control and shared many simple ideas and examples. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and found it helpful.
Remember, self-control is something we can practice every day. Start with small steps and be kind to yourself. You do not need to be perfect. Just try your best and keep going.
Thank you, Dylan, for this great talk. I really enjoyed it. And thank you to all our listeners. We hope you learned new English words and feel ready to try one small change today.
If you like this episode, please share it with a friend who is learning English. And don't forget to practice self-control today, even in a small way. Every small win counts.
Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you again in our next episode at Education Exploration Hub.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.